Yo, what is up guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at our updates, Epic Mode V5 plans, as well as these custom sites in my inventory. So I've been recently doing quite a few custom sites, and here are some of the ones I want to show off. If you guys are interested and if you guys think these look cool, then maybe you can get your own. But this one right here is Billy's scythe. He asked for an all black scythe, or basically black and gray. Looks pretty cool. He said it even looks like something that came straight out of RS. And then we've got ourselves Zyrex's scythe. He asked for a red and black scythe, which, as you guys can see, the blade was actually red on the end of it, where the blade part is, and then like two different shades of red actually for the blade, which is pretty lit. And then we've got Kanakakilla's scythe, which the same thing, you guys can see two purples on the scythe, and then he asked for white and purple, but as you guys can see, I made it two different shades of purple, which makes it look quite nice. And this looks like candy cane a little bit if candy cane were white and purple. Kind of reminds me of candy. But now we're going to move on to Epic Mode V5 plans. I kind of like the way that Epic Mode V4 is like playing out. Seems like it's got a pretty good drop rate. Seems like it's not too overpowered, and it's also not too boring as well, which I like to see. So we could go with some things from Epic Mode V4 and then maybe add a few extra things to Epic Mode V5. And I was thinking like perhaps clue scrolls, perhaps something like that. We could increase the drop rates of clue scrolls, and that would be pretty sick. But now we're going to read the recent updates, which is going to be pretty exciting. So in our recent updates, we actually have that kill count has been placed next to any drop in the game. And if I scroll through the chat box, I might be able to find one. So let's scroll through here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, another thing is, we could add where it says the amount of raids you've done. So that is an idea I will add to my list. But unfortunately, oh, up here, so someone got something at 129 kill count, which is pretty cool. Now we're going to take a look at some other updates and see if there are any other ones that are as cool as this one. So you can't give your only donator to your apprentice, which is pretty good, because there was a lot of people who they gave their legendary donator to their apprentice, and you just don't want to do that. Then changed Ring of Wealth E price, and disabled Araxor from teleporting from its area. So someone noticed that if you put a cannon down at, let's say, home, and then you went to Araxor, that Araxor would actually teleport, because Araxor is designed to break your cannon down. So you could actually lure Araxor to home area if you wanted to, but luckily the home area is not able to actually take damage at the home area, which is pretty safe. So now the default spell cannot be used in PvP, which is good, because if you're hybriding, then you are not going to want to use the default spell. You're going to want to use Ice Barrage. Put kill count next to rare drops. We saw that. Hybrid armors are no longer allowed in the wilderness, guys, which means that you're not allowed to use Vanguard, you're not allowed to use Battle Mage, and you're not allowed to use Trickster, which kind of makes sense, guys, because those armors aren't used in OSRS or RS3, so makes sense. Alright, added donator capes to : armor. If you guys are looking for a cool guide on all the armor in the entire game, I'd check that out. We've added all of the specs of donator capes, which they actually have quite a few. They have insta-kill chance, they have a chance of doubling your drops, and if you guys are wondering how often they double drops, I looked it up, and so one of the capes doubles drops like 1 out of 20, and then if you go up to like demonic or heroic, I think heroic might be 1 out of 10, maybe. But anyways, they go through like 1 out of 20 to 1 out of 10. And yeah, basically, if you have the heroic cape, that's a really good chance of doubling drops. But if you have 1 out of 20 chance, that's also pretty good as well. Added icons to epic mode, as you guys can see in the chat. If there's any epic modes online, then they would have the epic mode symbol. And it looks like it's kind of slowing down on the weekend, with which epic mode usually does. Not too many epic modes on towards the end of the competition, but there's a lot on during the beginning of the competition. I actually forgot to mention this one update right here, which is the notice board tab. If you guys have not found the next button, I would definitely check that out, because as you guys can see, it's got all your normal things, but then it's got actually 2 additional pages of some pretty useful buttons. The most useful buttons that I thought I could put here. So we've got search drops, which you can do anywhere now instead of talking to Barney, although it looks like Dat Twisty is still talking to Barney. But wherever you want to get your drops from, I mean, Barney is a little bit cooler than search drops over here. So then we've got collection log, which is kind of cool because it shows all your weapons from every boss in the game, so all rares in one little area. And then we've got account manager, which shows just some cool information, PvP kills. It should show a few more things like maybe PvP deaths. You guys can make recommendations for what to show here if you guys want. Then we've got events, which is it's got some pretty important stuff. It's got the donation bonus, which is important. That will show if you can get increased dollars for donating. And then drop rate bonus, this one's pretty massive as well. You can see the drop rate bonus of the entire server. Chaos elementals, you can see how many are left in the wilderness. And there's 2 empty slots, so we could add something there. Skiller's Dream, you guys can check that out in the events button. And then if you guys need to do penguins, sinkholes, boss raids I don't think is really done anymore. In Evil Tree, I'm not really sure if that's available anymore. Then we're going to go to next, player owned shops. Click on that, and if you guys haven't used that, definitely check that out. Grand Exchange, that one's kind of cool. Updates, this is pretty important. You can type : updates or click this. And then costumes, so if you're a donator, you guys, most of you are donators because you can either get it for free or you guys are just pretty good at getting dollars in general, so you probably can pick a lot of these costumes. So for example, you can go with a cat costume, and then I think if you take off your cape, it will show that you even have a tail. So if you guys are into that, then check that out. And basically that is the end of the notice board tab. I feel like there's a few more things maybe I could stick in here, but I just don't have many other options other than a guides button. I want to put a guide button somewhere for new players. As you guys can see, this guy Anal could use a little bit of a tutorial maybe, who knows. I want to put a guide button somewhere. It's just that all of our buttons are filled with different buttons that might be more important. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of the video. Be sure to like and comment for a chance to win 5 bill and 20 Death Star shards. I will be giving that away every single video to one random commenter. And peace out.